later on, but let's do this right now. And if after I talk about this, it's fine, but it's very important. Like I said, when you enroll a domain, when you enroll a device, you don't enroll it to Intune. Since the beginning, I told you that, yeah, you need to enroll this device to Intune, you need to enroll by showing you this. But in reality, what you are doing is that here it's Entra. The first place the first destination of where your laptop will go, it's not Intune. When you will register, when you will join this your device, your new device to the corporate domain, it will first go to Entra. And then what you have to do is to say to Intune, okay, I'm going to go there, devices, enrollments, and I'm going to say this. And here you're going to say in automatic enrollment, you're going to say whatever here it's all. It means that, look, configure Windows devices to enroll when they join or register with Azure AD. With Azure AD, guys, with Entra. It means that the underlying, I would say, pieces of information is that it first gets enrolled in Entra, and then you have to say in Intune, okay, whenever you have a devices, please enroll it to enroll it to Intune, okay? And it says also whenever the configure Windows device to enroll whenever it's registered. So not only join, also register, guys. So whenever you go here, you so either you register or join here, it first goes to the device, and I will show you right now. It first go to devices overview, total number of devices. Okay, it first go here. When I first enroll these two devices, it first saw Peter and Bruce. It first go to Entra, and then it goes, and then because I think in a company environment, it will not be, most of the time it will not be all, because you want to segment, and also in terms of security settings, in terms of the security scope, you don't want every laptop to be in Intune, and it's just like what company most of the time will do is that they will not be automatically on all, okay? So that being said, guys, you see that it's like the detail, the detail about exactly how a device is joining is very, very important, guys, because when you want to troubleshoot, and we'll see this later on, by the way, guys, sorry I didn't tell you what would be the actual session about, like totally about, but after that we see all of this thing, like all of this misunderstanding right now. We will also cover we will cover tickets, like real tickets, real issue, real troubleshooting that you will face. And it's so much important that you know about this, the way that things is connected between Intune, Entra, your device, SCCM, etc., etc. It's very important. So again, guys, maybe I will edit again, but in Windows 10 and Windows 11, when manually setting up a work or school account, user have two main options. The first one, like you know, it's Azure AD registration, and it links first to Azure AD. It provides all the access to work apps, okay? So here, when you register, it will provide you all the access. Also very important, guys. And after, don't worry, I will not forget how you could directly enroll it to Intune, and like forget about Entra and not enroll it into Azure AD Entra, okay? So why most of the company will use this system about connecting it to Entra? It's just, guys, about policies, conditional access, the way that you will block a device or not block a device when they enter and they are not compliant. Because what do you want to do is why you want so much Entra to be in the process of your Intune environment. It's because if a device is non-compliant, then it's like, if a device is non-compliant, Intune will just say, okay, this device is not compliant, and maybe he could be harmful to your he could be harmful to your company environment. And then, like, yeah, that's it, I'm just telling you this. So it's like Intune Act only has a doctor, like checking the health of the device, and if he's not good for the company, he told you, yeah, he's not good for your company, but I'm just letting you this. But Entra, what he does, he acts, I remember, guys, all of our videos and all of our live session about this. Entra acts as a security guard, as same as Active Directory, okay? They act as a security guard. It means that whenever those devices are not compliant, he will say you could add a conditional policy in uh, in here, conditional access, and you will say, okay, please block every devices that are not compliant in Intune. Okay, and then Entra will connect with Intune and will say, okay, could you provide me, please, your policy, like your compliance policy. And the compliance policy, guys, remember, I know that most of you know this, is compliant policy is, okay, let's check before, let's run a scan before the device goes into the or domain or company domain, and check if he's compliant or not. And when we say compliant, it means does he has does BitLocker encryption enabled, does he has his firewall on, etc, etc. It's just like a basic scan of how this device at what state this device is right now. Is this enabled, is this switch off, is this disabled, etc, etc. And then if here you say, okay, block everyone that is not compliant, then they will be not compliant and you will block them. Okay, you will block them. So, but when you are enrolling, and it's where I come now with what I just said before about if you enroll only with Intune. So if you only enroll with Intune, so sorry guys, if you go here and only enrolled with Intune, then it means that this, sorry, it's yeah, actually it's the 11. It means that this device here will be what I wanted to say. Yeah, you will see this. Sorry guys, I wanted to say that when a device is only enrolled with Intune compared to everything that I just said, guys, you will not be able to block, or like you will not be able to block this computer. He will be non-compliant, but he could do everything you want. And it's a situation that could happen in a company, and they will be agree to this. But of course, guys, look. So I will show you also where you could look to this. So you go to settings. Sorry, not to look to this, but to actually configure this device to only be enrolled in Intune. So access work or school. Oh, I cannot. Okay, because I already registered this device. But no, you cannot. So let me check here. It's actually there, but we can't see it. Yes, here. I think. Yeah, I think, yeah. Oh, yeah, here. Okay, enroll only in device management. It's actually this, guys. Enroll only in device management mean, guys, remember, Intune MDM enrollment only. So the device is managed by Intune and not Entra. Okay, meaning IT can enforce compliance policy, encryption pin, app deployment, etc. But the device does not. First, guys, important is that the device will not appear in Azure AD. Okay, of course, like it's not in Entra, so it will not appear here. But the conditional access policies, when you enroll that way here, will not apply. Okay, meaning even non-compliant devices can access company resources. Okay, guys. So very important, guys. This notion is very important. And I'm telling you guys, if you know about this, if you actually can if it's if it nests well on your thoughts, and sorry, if everything get nested well, like by block, and you understand the process well, then troubleshooting and resolving issue about devices in the company becomes much simpler when you know about this. Okay, guys. So yep. What can I say more about this? I'm thinking if I mention everything. I'm thinking about the question that you had. I know, is Intune, for example, I have one thing about, is Intune, if a Intune device, like I just showed you, like Intune device enrollment, can it be, oh yeah, this is a good question. Some of you ask me, and I remember I have this in my personal notes also back in the days, when when the device is Intune enrolled, Intune, like, sorry, I pronounce it wrongly. When a device is enrolled only in device management, meaning Intune MDM enrollment, does the actual laptop is registered or joined? Because I told you in the beginning, we only talk about registered and joined. And guys, I'm telling you now, it's just another category. Is neither joined, I think we say, nor registered. It's not joined or registered, it's another category. Okay? But I'm just telling you that and by the way, I'm making a mistake, guys. I'm making I'm making a mistake? No, actually, because I'm thinking about a certain aspect. And by the way, guys, I'm just like thinking in my head, but everything that I'm telling you right now, it's 100%. Okay, like when I said that when when a device is Intune MDM enrolled, it's not registered. It's not registered or joined. Okay, it's we call it like this. We call it, it's sorry guys, we call it Intune MDM enrollment. But I'm just thinking about one thing. Yes, guys, there is also one thing very important in Intune that maybe I did not precise before, but I told you that Intune enrolled only, it's when you enroll this device only to Intune, it's not registered or a joint device. Okay, it's another category. But I told you that you cannot block the access of the device. But there is something very important. You can still manage the device. It means that you can apply policy to this device. Okay, you can apply policy like, let me remember, like forcing encryption, blocking USB drives, like doing a bunch of things. So you can do all of this, but access to resources cannot be restricted based on compliance. So it will be non-compliant, and it's very different than registered device, guys, if you think about this, because registered device, if the device is when it's registered, it means, guys, remember, register mean that it's in Entra, it's in Intune, but it's not joined, so you cannot control it. You cannot manage this device. You can only see if the device is compliant or not compliant, but you can block access. So as you can understand, Intune MDM enrollments is less secure than registered, even though in MDM you take control of it. Okay, because you can apply like security policy, like I said, encryption, blocking USB drive, and doing also a bunch of things. But, and please guys, repeat like this video from where I explained this if it's confusing for you, but it just need to sink in. Like, you just need to rewatch this, because there isn't that much things that I could say. So to repeat, guys, I will note here, maybe in a dark background it will be best. So I said you have here register, you have here joined, and you have here Intune enrollments. Okay, and here it's Entra and Intune. Here it's Entra and Intune. And guys, remember, that's why we make this. I'm making this video. It's to go deeper on that. You can register but block Intune. Okay, you can register and, like I said, disable the automatic enrollment to Intune. Remember what we say about this. But Intune enrollments, Intune MDM enrollments, it's Intune. Okay, so it's only Intune. And what you need to understand, guys, is that if we say here Azure AD, okay, here it's Azure AD, yes, it will be visible here. Yes, it will be visible here. So is Azure AD, is this device going to be visible in Azure AD? Yes here, no here. Okay. What about conditional access? Conditional access work. Let me think. Conditional access register, yes. So it means that if a device is registered, so not joined, just register, and is enrolled in Entra, and if he's not compliant based on what Intune said, then the actual device will be under conditional access policy and could be denied or enabled. He could go to the company environment. Joined, of course, and Intune, no. It means that if the device, like I said, is non-compliant, you can still, the device could still like enter the company domain, the company environment, without being blocked. Okay. What about compliance policy? Is compliance policy applied to registered device? Yes, because compliance policy just scan. Think of it as a scan, like compliance policy is just a scan. So yes, you can scan on a registered device, you can scan on here, and yes, you can scan here. So it means that when it's Intune MDM enrolled, you can scan and say if the device is compliant or not compliant. And so, is it all? Okay, let's say apply policy. You know, like, for example, what type of policy? I just have this in my mind, I don't know why. Like blocking USB drive. Okay, blocking USB key. In registered, no, it's not possible. because you can only check compliance, and that's it. You cannot check control of this registered device. Here, yes, and here, yes. Guys, just repeat, like, look at this part of the video again, and you will totally understand these three categories. And once you understand it, guys, you will be good. I'm telling you, you will be good. Okay, I'm just thinking. Let me look at my notes. You know, I just want to do this, like, just a recap about question regarding all that we say. It's the question that I receive and the answer to it, but most of them we already covered everything, guys. I cannot add more things to it. I'm just thinking about this table, if I could add another one. Yes, for example, this, like, I say apply. I say, like, configure the application, configure the devices, and I say here, no, you cannot do anything. Oh my god. Here you cannot do you cannot do in register. I just want to add this guy. For example, deploying app or deploying updates. Okay, here you can't. Here you can. And can you or not deploy app and update, etc.? Yes, you can. Okay, so now what about the question that I receive? Can non-compliant devices, and by the way, you looking at this, you can just answer in your head. Okay, you can just pause the video and try to answer it, and like this, guys, it will be a great, it's actually great. You know why? Because everything that I said here we already covered. Like, me answering to the question will just be very redundant. It's just maybe just a way for you, like, if I emphasize even more, but it will be very, very redundant. So I will ask the question, I will say the question, just pause the video and try to answer on your own. And like this, we will see if you understand the concept of it. So first question, how much question I have? Okay, I have, wait, 4 questions, but they are very, like, the main question. Oh, I have 5 questions, but I didn't mark the. Okay, so let's start, guys, with the first question. Can non-compliant devices access company resources in enroll only in device management mode, meaning Intune MDM enrollment mode? We already talked about this. Yes, they can still access company resource because the device is not Azure AD Join or registered, meaning conditional access cannot block the access based on compliance status. It's what I want to say. Second question: why can Intune apply policies but not block access? Very important question, guys. Just pause the video, and now I'm gonna give you the answer. Intune. Okay, why can Intune apply policies but not block access? Intune can enforce devices policies. Okay, like encryption, like we just said. Okay, like we just said here. Intune, it's Intune here. Okay, Intune can enforce device policies, encryption, pin. You see, like, the pin that I add in the beginning when I sign in, it's Intune. Like, this is Intune app, and like deploying app, etc. But he cannot restrict access to resources because Azure AD is not involved. It's the work of Entra. It's the work of Azure AD. Conditional access require Azure AD registration or joining. Simple as this. And just think, guys, even though it's could be a bit confusing, but we have say a lot. So I think right now it's not anymore confusing for you. Third question: is the device registered or joined? Why I say this? I mark this question, is the device registered or joined in this case? Oh, okay, in Intune. Okay. When we talk about these guys, but I already covered this question just right now. When we talk about in this case, when you enrolled only with Intune, okay, is the device registered or joined in this case? Pause the video, and of course, guys, I just answer to it, neither. The device is not Azure AD registered or joined. It's only enrolled in Intune MDM, meaning it is managed at the device level, but not recognized by Azure AD for authentication control. That's it. No conditional access, no blocking access, no policy regarding this, nothing. Just in Intune. Okay, that's it. Can a registered device be checked for compliance? Can a registered device be checked for compliance? We actually cover here, okay, but you can pause it, but we already covered here. Of course, guys, yes, an Azure AD registered device can be checked for compliance if also enrolled in Intune, if is also enrolled in Intune. However, compliance only impacts conditional access, meaning Intune can check compliance but cannot, like I said, block access without conditional access policies in Entra. So the last question I didn't mark. Okay, let me think. Yes, it's actually what we discover now, but the question I will think I will just make one. It's, can Intune MDM enrollment apply configuration policies like BitLocker encryption, firewall settings, blocking USB drives, Wi-Fi profiles, like regardless of the compliance status? If the compliance say non-compliance, can he still do this? Can he still take control of the device? And the answer, pause if you want, the answer is yes. He can do it. So guys, it was a good session. It was like a good of course, guys, we did not finish, but it was just like a big part, and there was a lot to cover. I'm happy that we did this right now. I'm just looking at my notes. So guys, I would say the final summary, especially about this one that maybe for most of you would not understand like that much, it won't be clear as those two one. Very simple, guys, and it's also a general things. It's a general summary of what's going on. Intune can enforce configuration policies. Okay, Intune can enforce configuration policies, meaning, again, there is a difference between configuration policies and compliance. Remember, I know that you look at other YouTube videos, so most of you know, but I'm gonna explain here. Configuration policy, and it's different from SCCM. Very important. Configuration policy mean after the device is in the corporate domain environment, after the compliance has been done and it has been correct, it has been verified, but not in Intune. Remember, even if the device I'm talking right now about Azure, I'm thinking about Azure AD and Intune, when they both work together, if the compliance is correct, then Intune could apply the configuration policies. But if it's only MDM enrollment, then the compliance will scan first, and then the configuration policy will happen. So the configuration policy always come after the compliance. Okay, guys? Very, very important. So Intune can enforce configuration policies, and configuration policy, guys, are like BitLocker, block USB drive, like, this type of app. And compliance will be more about firewall, checking if you have your firewall enabled, checking if you have Yeah, also, by the way, encryption. But configuration policy force it. Compliance just check. Okay, yes, it's a great definition. Configuration apply policies, and compliance policy just scan those policy. Just scan like what's going on in your laptop. Okay, Intune can enforce configuration policies. Intune can check compliance, but it won't affect access. Again, unless Azure AD is involved. And in this case, in Intune MDM enrollments, Azure AD cannot block access based on compliance because he's simply not involved. He's simply not involved. Entra is not involved. Azure AD is not involved. So he cannot block access, simply as this, because the device is not registered or joined in Azure AD. Okay, guys, so it was a bit redundant, but trust me, I'm sure that for people that have like a lot of misconception about this, it was very informative, we said. Okay, so let's do this, and we're gonna talk about the other subjects, which is what is the other subject?